Hey guys, Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. We want to thank you so much for all the support you've given us here on the network. And if you want to see what we're up to outside of the station, please follow us all over social media. I'm on Twitter at MikeMMedia and on Instagram at Mike Mercado Media. You can follow the good brother Alex Mercado on Twitter at Mercado21Alex and on Instagram at Mercado2121. The lovely Nicole Mancha is on all social media platforms at Typing When Tipsy. You can follow the network on Twitter at Mercado Airwaves, our pop culture show, The Good Brothers, on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod, our true crime shows on Instagram at Murder Mysteries and more, and of course, like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. You can see all our videos on YouTube.com/Mike Mercado 2333 or by searching Mercado Airwaves Network. We play video games on Twitch, twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network, and of course, you can support our network by finding a tier just for you, whether you want early access, you want to be part of polls, you want to win contest prizes, by visiting us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. And we really appreciate it wherever you get your favorite podcast to like, rate, review, and share us. And please spread the word. For the good brother, Alex Mercado, for the lovely Nicole Mancha, I'm Mike Mercado. We wish you a happy, healthy holiday season and an awesome new year.
And here we go.
Get ready, get set for the best movie and pop culture talk in the universe. It's The Good Brothers on Mercado Airwaves with your hosts, Alex Mercado and Mike Mercado.
Welcome back to another episode of The Good Brothers. I'm Alex, that's Mike. We are The Good Brothers, the best podcast for pop culture in the Midwest and the universe and the multiverse and in Hollywood. Mike, the Oscars just happened and you just snuck away a win.
I sure as hell did, but guess what? I'm still raising banners and having another ring to my hand.
Well, it sucks because we're like the NFL that apparently none of my championships before the last 3 years count. Which
fake news.
Mike was winning one out of every six. So I have 6 rings, but none of them count except the one.
Except for the one that matters because it's only one compared to my two.
We'll talk about it.
That's right, good brother. But it was an awesome award season. It was a wonderful film season.
It was a terrible show.
A horrible show, but a wonderful season. I would think.
It was bad. Everything about Hollywood. The only good thing this year was the winners, which is odd because that's usually the worst part.
No, I'm not. Well, I should be more specific. I think the award season, when it comes to the movies we've gotten, the competition, the films were fantastic. Yep. The talent behind it. Now the award shows.
We're saying the same thing. Okay.
Horrible.
Yeah.
But we have a bunch of stuff to get into this week's episode. We both got a chance to check out Birds of Prey, so we'll review that. And speaking of some excitement coming up, good brother, the XFL return. I made a little bit of a boo-boo because we were so excited about the Oscars, telling everybody that NXT Takeover was last week.
And I told you were wrong.
I was wrong. But we talk about the XFL, WWE, and so much more. But good brother, before we do anything else, let's all go to the movies.
We're going to get copyrighted one day if you keep... Keep singing that.
Opening up, number one this weekend, good brother, was Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. And I wanted to make this clear right now because it is actually a title change. It was originally Birds of Prey, the Emancipation of Harley Quinn. Of one Harley Quinn. That has changed. It is now Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey. We'll get to that in just one second.
Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey?
Yeah. I hold that thought for just one second.
There's a lot we can go into.
We go into that one second. Yeah. Number 2, Bad Boys for Life. Number 3, 1917, get a little bit of that rub of the Academy Awards. Doolittle at number 4. At 5, Jumanji the Next Level, making some more money.
I'm waiting for that to already come out. I want to watch it again.
Yeah, but it keeps making money in the theaters. At 6, The Gentleman. At 7, Gretel and Hansel. At 8, Little Women. Some more Oscar rub for that one. At 9, Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Funny, I saw it in 2 theater chains when I went to go see Birds of Prey, so it's still up there.
Still playing at the late nights,
And a little shout out to 10, 11, and 12. 10 was Knives Out, 11 Parasite, and 12 Jojo Rabbit.
The Oscar rub.
So Oscar rub. So
five of the top movies of the Oscars got the Oscar rub, which is good because now get a little more money while you're here.
And this is what I was explaining to you 2 weeks ago, how important it is to get nominated. That's why I get kind of upset when you don't see 10 movies get nominated, because you took away some clout and money.
It would have been nice for, you mentioned Peanut Butter Falcon, the whole thing. You have them present. It's probably one of the best moments. I think it was the best moment of the night.
Wonderful moment.
Beside the winners. Barring winners, because I think the winners were great. And barring speeches. I think the presentation, that was my favorite, was Shia LaBeouf and the kid. And I love just the renaissance we're getting of Shia LaBeouf, but also, a special needs kid being able to present an award that he acted in a movie. And it was huge. And the fact that we couldn't have used our 10th spot right there is kind of like, you really could have done something nice here and special,
And it was
and
pure,
people would have been more
yes.
aware, and you just didn't use it. And while we're here, Avengers not getting any love after all that. Trust me, I'm not the biggest Marvel stan. I think DC's doing a better job. I like the characters better there. I love Marvel, though. And I loved Endgame. And I love it more and more as the years go on. Like, I didn't love it at first because it was
But
a
as
lot
the
of
year
movie.
and years-
I appreciate it way more every single day.
Mhm.
It should have gotten an award. It should have gotten visual effects.
1917 though, like it's kind of a bummer, and we'll get into this in Academy talk. But just in case we forget, because we always get scatterbrained between
And
the
it's
Good
our show,
Brothers
I
and
can
I.
do what I want.
Yeah, one of the big things that I want that's interesting when you see a movie like 1917 beat Avengers Endgame for special effects is 1917 ended up all the accumulation of this got a bunch of props and a bunch of love, but didn't come out with anything. So it is kind of a bummer that there has to be losers.
Because I thought about it today, and the fact that it didn't win anything is really going to show you. I think we're going to see. It's like it went from being talked about as the next Saving Private Ryan. That I do think it's going to be kind of just.
Another really good war movie. When it's
movie.
actually a great movie.
And when it's like, it might be one of the best we've seen in 20 years. So that sucks because I don't think it's ever going to get the recognition it truly deserves because it didn't win anything. Again, you went against probably one of the best films of the year, of the last 5 years.
And I highly suggest, as we wrap up the top box office results, you check them out. People are watching them right now. You could go see Parasite and 1917 right now in the theaters. Jojo Rabbit's about to be on Amazon, along with a lot of these movies like Ford v Ferrari, Little Women. So I really suggest just check them out, guys. They're great movies, and it reflects in the box office. Now, we stick a little bit to Birds of Prey, Good Brother. We're going to review it in just a second. What did you think about it not performing necessarily that well?
Well, here's the thing. So
for its own status, I should say.
Okay, did we think it was going to do better domestically? Yes, it made about $10 million less than we thought. That's fine. It's already made its money back in 3 days. It's going to be profitable.
Yeah.
It's got great reviews, and that helps.
Wonderful.
I think it's going to be watched a lot. Here's another thing that we didn't talk about. The coronavirus in China actually affected their movie going. And they've actually come out and said it did affect it. So, the box office overseas is almost way more important than domestic with some of these big blockbusters. So, no, it's not a miss. Like, it's going to make it. It's made its money back. We'll see. It depends if it has legs now. I think, how about this? It's not a bust until you see the second week.
Now, what do you think about the title? Because of that, because of opening weekend.
You should have done that right away. We've seen that with so many movies. With Dr. Sleep, great movie, terrible title.
Yeah.
Edge of Tomorrow, terrible title. Like, these are great movies. You're like, you probably should have changed the title. Bumblebee didn't make the money it was supposed to. Like, this is probably very connected where it was really good critically. It made its money enough where you're like, okay, it probably will get a sequel. It's not for sure, but it will. Like, when some of these movies just hit so fast, you're like, 2 days Bad Boys. You're like, yep, we're getting Bad Boys 4.
We already know.
Yeah. But they announce it. You would hope these are the kind of movies that do that, but they weren't. And they're similar to the sense of you probably should have started with title Transformers Present Bumblebee. Like, you got to be smart with this. And it comes down to marketing. I do think it's going to have legs, but I also believe it's going against a lot of good stuff Valentine's Day. Do I think it's going to make money? Yes. Do I think it's going to win the weekend? No, I think Sonic wins the weekend.
And we get right into it. That's what you could spend your money on this
You want to
Valentine's Day
just
weekend.
finish our Birds of Prey review while we're here before we talk about the new releases?
I guess right now we can interject into what we're doing. Our Birds of Prey, we'll go non-spoiler. There's not a lot in this movie. But just to be safe, we won't any major plot twist. I will say I really enjoyed it. I give it probably like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was better than Suicide Squad.
Yes.
All of them.
Squad's like a 6.
All of the actresses are awesome together and individuals.
It's very fun. It's very funny.
To me, you know what this is? It's almost as close to a true comic book into comic book movie because it feels like you turn the page in a lot of different things. There's a lot of great moments. It's very colorful.
It sounds
funny.
good. It looks good.
Some of my favorite
Margot
parts,
Robbie's so charming.
It's funny when you say that. Some of my favorite parts about Margot Robbie in this movie are not even necessarily the focal point of her acting. It's her little nuance that she has of Harley Quinn, her little chuckles, her little faces.
Like, you can tell, like, this is her, like, whatever you think about the movie she's in, she's always killed it.
Yeah.
And we got to remember, like, just like a lot of these actors, like, she's an Academy Award-nominated actress
multiple
times.
2 or
3 times at this point in her very young career. Yeah, I think 2 or
Wolf of Wall Street's
this year for Bombshell
and last year for I, Tonya.
There you go. So that was 2 years ago. So So she's a 3-time Academy Award nominated actress, and she's so young.
Oh, she's gonna
Like,
she's
Vogue
gonna win
Wall Street
multiple
was her
of them.
big coming out party. So I love Margot Robbie. Beside her, obviously she's gorgeous. She got the prettiest eyes in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But look at Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like, she's a fantastic talent with the little screen time she gets. I love her Harley Quinn. Like, she's doing one of those things where you're like a Hugh Jackman. I can't imagine anyone else do Harley Quinn anymore.
I was thinking about
Like,
that in
she's
the movie.
taking it. Like, obviously Batman, we've had many, and Superman, we've had many. But there's certain characters you're like, I can't imagine. And sometimes there's two even, like a good Joker or Professor X and Magneto, where you can get two good ones. But there's some that are just that, nope, I want one person doing it for at least 15 years. Margot Robbie's there as Harley Quinn.
Now, I personally think the strong point of this movie is the acting.
Yeah.
I think directing is fine. I think the writing is fine. I think it's really cool.
It is what it is. Like,
It
I
just is
feel
what
like
it is.
they knew what this movie was. This could have been a disaster. Because obviously
yeah,
it's been in development for like 3 years because it was Birds of Prey. Then we're going to do a Harley movie. We're going to combine them. We got a Sirens. What? Let's just put it all together. And I think that was the best decision. And I think it shows you DC decided, let's take our time. Let's adjust. And just because we announced it doesn't mean we had to do it. And guess what? It worked.
Yeah, and I really liked it. I hope
gonna
people
get a
go check it
sequel.
out.
Yeah.
Totally it's going to get a sequel. I wish, at the same time, I give them credit for while they embraced the DC EU, it was more about the stuff that was pertinent to Harley Quinn.
They're doing a great job. The whole universe, like Shazam, it's enough.
Yeah,
It's
enough.
more than enough of being like, oh, okay, like I know where we're at. I know the world we're in. They're giving me a story where I don't, because sometimes with Marvel, I think their biggest flaw is they try to go so intense in some stories, like, and so you got to like Black Panthers where they slowed it down a bit, where it was like, I'm fighting the world-ending thing, and it's like Thor: The Dark World. It's a world-ending thing, and only he's doing it
he's
on
around.
Earth. Like, he's on Earth.
Yeah.
And I hate that stuff because I'm like, that makes no sense. This makes sense. You're like, oh, it's a crime boss. This, like, yeah, Superman and Batman don't necessarily need to get involved all the time. Like, they deal with 10 crime bosses a day. So this one slipping underneath, I believe it. Like, this world seemed more real, and I like that.
Now, as I guess I could call us both resident Dark Knight stands to the max. Like that, I
It's the
literally,
best comic book adaptation ever.
literally one of the corners in the studio is strictly just for Batman memorabilia. I love Black Mask. I love him outside as a comic book character. I love them in the Arkham game. I love the character. I think the idea of his mask, a gangster, there's a cool aura to him, but he's not OP. And the fact that Mr. Obi-Wan Kenobi himself, one of the greats that we have.
He really gets lost in
fandom,
his roles. Like,
Ewan
you don't even
McGregor.
you don't remember it until midway. You're like, that is Ian McGregor.
One of my favorite scenes in the movie. Ew, is that a snot bubble?
Yeah, no, he's the best.
Ew, like his ews.
It was so good. You're
Ugh.
like, I would like to see Black Mask done again.
I'm
with
so
The
mad.
Dark Knight.
I'm so mad. I'm not going to spoil
I'm
anything.
not. No, 'cause
I'm mad.
I'm not.
I don't like how it ends from in a world that we live in now, where you didn't have to do that and you could still get your message across. I applaud them.
They pulled the
for,
Marvel
for doing what they did.
That's the one thing that I'm like, you were so original, and then you pulled the Marvel right at the end, huh?
So I thought it was, but I loved him in it. I adored Ewan McGregor as Black Mask, and I loved the actor who was playing Victor
Sass?
Sass.
Yeah, he was
'Cause
great.
again, Batman's
There
dad,
wasn't
Victor
there was
Sass.
no bad roles in it. Like, it was super good.
I'll ask you right now: were they lovers?
Who?
Black Mask and Sass.
No.
Do you think that there was any indication that Black
think-
Mask might be
No.
gay
No.
at all?
He's
Okay.
he's the Velveteen Dream, baby.
Oh, okay. I think that's an
He's
interesting
just-
way. Just very flamboyant.
It's
but
just
yeah.
what it is,
Yeah.
what it is, man. He's nothing. He's nothing in everything.
I love.
That's why I like that character though, because like that the whole movie's basically about like, no matter.
He's a very eccentric, but not in.
Because like they've officially made it canon that Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy dated in this universe. Like they make that canon at the beginning of the film. That
Yes,
they
they
did
do.
date.
Yes, they do.
Because again, the anime is canon now
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
universe. So I think that's funny.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
And the reason why I even brought it up
love
about
the animated show. I started
I gotta
watching.
check it out.
It's if you like this movie, you're gonna love the anime.
the reason I even bring up the Ewan McGregor sexuality thing too is I think because of how he played the character, it put so many layers into it. You have a crime boss heir who's also psychotic, who's also
a germaphobe, who's
it's
also
beautiful.
flamboyant,
Yes, that's
but
why
also
I'm
very
obsessed with it.
sexually aggressive, but
To
very
all
dependent,
kinds. Yes.
but psychopathic.
And very dramatic. What do you think about now here's one spoiler. This is it, Alex, really fast. 7 out of 10?
7 out of 10.
I give it a 7 out of 10. Go check out Birds of Prey. We loved it. Last thing on it. How do you feel about him only putting on the black mask one time in the beginning and one time at the end?
That's all I needed.
Okay,
I don't want him wearing the whole time because that's not what the character. That's very comic booky.
Okay,
and I appreciate it for comic books. I don't need to see it in the movie because it's just unrealistic. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like it would make more sense. Like when he's gonna go do his bidding, he puts the mask on. Like, do you want to see Superman only wear his costume, Mike?
No, I get it.
No, I'm just saying, I know you're not saying. I'm just like, that's when people say he only wore a mask. I was like, but like, would you want your Batman only in the suit? No, you want to see Bruce Wayne a little. Same with villains. Like, I don't want to see Osborn only as the Green Goblin. I like to see the streaks and Willem Dafoe being crazy, and then I'll see the costume.
What I have to give Hollywood credit for as we move on to the movie that's coming out this weekend, what I got to give Hollywood credit for is there's a lot of skull imagery right now. From the Latin culture that we've brought up with the Cinco de Mayo and the day and Coco when that came out and everything. But what you got to give credit for is Crossbones and Taskmaster, and now what we have here with Black Mask. They all don't look the same. They're all skull-based things, but they all have unique looks, and I think that's really cool because they get overplayed really, really fast. But Birds of Prey, go check it out. Speaking of checking out, good brother, we mentioned it earlier. Sonic the Hedgehog is what you could do with your Valentine this weekend. There's a few movies coming out, but I really want to concentrate on this one for just a little bit. Your gut feeling, the redesign, the fact that the company took the time to do it. Do you think this movie will be good? Before you say anything else, Jim Carrey's a treasure. We don't deserve him. That video clip of him doing the Grinch face is amazing. Does this movie do well?
Yes. I think this movie's going to make money.
Is it good?
I think the rumblings that I've been hearing, it's good.
What's the Hop? Is it called Hop? That bunny movie that everybody thought was going to suck, but it ended up being like
that's one. Yeah,
that's what this movie kind of feels like it might end up being.
I think it's going to be really good. Like I said, I think the rumblings we're hearing is that they need to push the embargo because a little word of mouth will help it. I'm hearing strong positives. I think Jim Carrey's doing the rounds. He's not done the rounds in such a long time.
Like this.
He's on like Conan. I just saw him on Conan last night. So he hasn't done that in a while. And that's good. Sonic looks great. We were Nintendo kids, but when Sonic came over to Nintendo in the early 2000s, we kind of got into it, which I love Sonic. I can't wait for the
Sonic Adventure 2 is one of my favorite games.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's going to be great. I think kids are super excited. I think Sonic, as much as us older people are a little rigid on it at this point, he still attracts young kids from Smash Brothers to the cartoons to the Netflix, like the straight stuff that we don't get to see. There's a lot going on with those properties. Like, look at Marvel and DC. Like, yeah, we watch the movies. There's a lot of kid stuff out there just for kids on like kids Netflix and Disney XD that we don't watch, but
are based on
it's out there. It's the same IP. It's just for kids, and Sonic still does that. So I think the younger generation's excited, our generation's excited, and parents taking their kids are excited. So I think it will make some money on Valentine's Day weekend.
I totally agree. Now let me ask you in a little detour for just a second. Now that you see this, and we'll talk about it next week. So I want you to think about it right now. Would you rather see Nintendo and Sega keep going down the route of live action movies? Do you want to see them do animated movies? Or do you want them to go streaming? You could talk about it a little bit now, but I want you to save that for next week when we see the box office results. Yeah. Generally speaking, though, when I just mentioned that to you, what popped into your head? Like when I say Legend of Zelda, when I say Mario.
Streaming.
And
Legend of Zelda streaming, Mario animated.
So you would love to see Zelda as live action, Lord of the Rings as Sting.
It depends. If you're gonna do live action, do what you did with The Witcher.
Okay.
I think Link in general. That's such a long thing. Like you need to make that.
What about like the Castlevania-esque type of animation?
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. Either way, you need to stream it because it's just you need more time.
Yeah.
But Mario, I think you could do a real fun like hour and 45
Wreck-It
movie.
Ralph.
Yeah, like I think it'd be so fun. Like, and that's coming. Like, we're gonna see that in the next 5 years. But
you're not as much of a gamer as you were back in the day.
But with Mario, I am.
What is a character from either your past that's not the ones that we spoke of? Maybe like a Donkey Kong that you would love to see.
The Mario world, yeah,
the
Yoshi, and
Mario
Donkey Kong.
universe.
Yeah,
Made into it. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, good brother, I'm not sure if we will see a Mario movie or a Nintendo universe ever get into the Academy Awards. But one thing we do know is that I am now a two-time champion thanks to Parasite, Bong Joon-ho winning Best Director, winning Best Film. Gotta be honest with you, good brother, the show was kind of shite.
The show, okay, let's just go into it. Mike, congratulations on your win.
Thank you for a good season.
Said it last week that if he was right, I didn't say he would not be. It wasn't one of those years where we were like, you're an idiot. It was one of those years of, do I think Hollywood's going to make that change? No. But if it does, That's really cool. Now, here's the thing, Hollywood. You got to keep it up for next year.
Yeah.
It can't be a one every 10 years thing. But you know what? Good for you. The winners all deserved it. And the more you think about it, Parasite deserved it. And it was good. And I feel bad because there only can be one winner.
Yeah, I agree.
And that sucks. But you know what? They deserved it. He deserved it. He's a treasure. His speeches were the best.
Yes.
Okay, that's all the positives. Everything else about the show was terrible.
Preach.
Okay, so we start off with first of all, we have a introduction to introductions, which makes no sense whatsoever. It's like, we're going to bring out this celebrity to introduce this other celebrity so that celebrity can introduce 2 awards, which makes no sense.
But I'll be honest with you, seeing Steve Martin and Chris Rock was kind of cool, whether it was pointless or not. Like, that was one of those moments, because it's the same thing with the Eminem. Thought it was pointless. It was nice to see them. Whether or not the performance itself was worthy of anything.
Here's the problem. So, like, even those two, they made the same old jokes, which they're funny still. But then you get a taste, you're like, well, why don't we just do this? And Maya Rudolph and Kristen Wiig, you're like, or Kristen Stewart. Well, no, who am I thinking of? Maya Rudolph and
Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart, yeah. Sorry, I said Wiig first. Kristen Stewart came out.
Kristen Wiig.
Okay, so I was right.
You were right, yeah.
Kristen Wiig, they were funny. It was fine. It just goes to show you, like, I think you do need a host. Like, I hate not having a host. You need a host. All the performances were bad. Even Eminem's, as cool as it made no sense.
To see him was cool.
To see him was cool. After the 5-second scene, it was a bad performance.
Totally yep.
The whole show was just bad. Like, and I haven't seen a bad Oscars in a very long time. Like, none of the songs really hit. No. I love Billie Eilish. I appreciate what she does. She was probably the wrong person to do In Memoriam because she really couldn't bounce it and really perform. So I feel like that was a little, wonky. None of the music worked. Like, I just think it was a real weak year for songs in general, honestly. Yeah. Compared to the years we've had where it was like, This Is Me versus Remember Me. And you're like, oh, that's a blood. Like, both performances great. You had Elton John. He was fine.
What's funny is thinking back in our predictions, how we didn't even really consider, like...
Well, I figured, I was like, the biggest name here is Elton John.
You did get that one right.
So it's going to be Elton John or Frozen. But a lot of winners deserve to win. Like,
you want to go through the list really fast for anybody? Obviously, you've seen it. Just the big ones. And you could see actually our picks if you missed it all over social media. But obviously, the big ones: Bong Joon-ho winning for Best Director, Best Picture in Parasite. The easy ones: Joaquin Phoenix, Renee Zellweger,
all
Brad
the
Pitt,
actors
and
won. Like, that wasn't creative. Like, no one. All their speeches were terrible. To be honest, out of that 4 people, beside Brad Pitt, honestly, and his was kind of just. I'm Brad Pitt. I'm a cool guy, which I appreciate. Renee Zellweger was terrible, and now it's rumored that she was either very drunk or under the influence of something.
Oh, I hope not.
But that's the rumor going around. That's the word, because it was a very mumbled speech. And no offense, like, I agree with, like, you knew you were going to win. Like, you've been winning everything. You're the only one beside Joaquin Phoenix that's won every award. Laura Dern was fine. Joaquin is fine. Again, it's just... I'm not a big fan of the preaching sometimes.
No, I get that.
Because you're like, dude, it's hot. Like, it's
if
the Oscars. Chill. Like, back it up with some facts.
If you're saying that, then I want to call out Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
Because he deserved all the time he did, and there were underlining moments. The best part that he said was the last part about his brother.
Yeah, that was great.
That was a great part.
And you know what? All we're going to say is before we get into bashing it, it is their right. It is
their
time, but it's also our right to not enjoy it.
But I'm more going to critique it as in, like, the flow and structure of it. Like, at first we're saying forgive each other, talk to each other, let other people's transgressions not be defining them.
Yeah.
In quote unquote progressive liberal Hollywood, that doesn't exist when they try to cancel you.
Yeah.
So that was a weird message. Then we go into we're drinking the milk from the tits of a cow and then killing her baby.
Yeah.
Then we go into the environment. I'm like, hey.
It was like Fantastic Four. It had a really strong beginning about his forgiveness and that people accepted him and, like, he was sorry. And then it just gets mumbled in the middle. And then the last bit, you're like, oh, I like that last bit.
He talks about the thanklessness of, like, the writers, the stunt coordinators, but doesn't thank anybody from the production of Joker. So I'm like, here's the thing. It's not what he said. It's the idea of, like, having so much clouds and putting so much levity and heaviness to it. These are performers. These are humans. We shouldn't put so much pressure on them. Let them think they're family. Let them think a charity if they want. Yeah. Don't put so much pressure on them. Joaquin Phoenix probably thought about this knowing he was going to win for the last 6 months.
Yeah, but it's also Joaquin Phoenix is a different breed in Hollywood.
Sure.
Like, he was also the one that, like, wasn't accepted by the Oscars for a very long time. and like kind of got in their good grace again this year. Like I said, it was fine. Like I honestly do think there was not a lot of good speeches beside the little awards, and that's the problem is no one cared. Like the music editing, like she had a beautiful speech about acceptance and everything. And Bong Joon-ho, every time he went up there, he was the character of the night. Without him that night, honestly, if he doesn't win 2 of those awards, it's a really bad night. Honestly.
What's funny is I could see a turn in your eyes when you text me. You're like, "Oh, damn!"
It's
his
It
night.
wasn't even that. It was they were giving everyone the right awards, and sometimes you have to, as a sports fan, as a sports guy, you got to be like, "Do I pick with my heart or do I pick where I?" It's like Schneider says from the Schneider Cut. Like sometimes you don't pick with your heart because you're like, "My heart's been wrong. Facts are facts. This is how they usually trend, and I'm taking facts into it." And sometimes, Hollywood gets it right, but the show is terrible. It needs a host. It didn't run long. It felt long, but it didn't run long, and that's bad.
3.5 hours.
And that's bad because, there was just no structure. It does need a host.
It did pick up at the very end because they went all the heavy. It started out heavy,
and that's their
down,
plan.
boom,
But it's
boom, boom.
there's a reason this was the lowest viewed Oscars in history.
Yeah, 20% down from last year.
Yeah, and last year wasn't up from the year previous. Yeah. But again, people are like, well, I think it was because there was no host. I think Moonlight and La La Land were really, really movies that connected with 2 audiences that we didn't think it would. Compared to this year, I think Parasite, I think now will get attention. I think beside Our Little World, no one knows what Parasite is. I think now people are asking.
And what's funny is everybody who sees it
now
is
people
like,
are asking. Yeah. But people weren't asking about it since the Oscars. Like even when it got nominated, no one was asking. 1917, war movies are war movies. They're you're not going to rewatch them all the time. I necessarily, it's maybe once a year. So you don't have those movies. And then the other ones were very good. Like Joker's the one we're still talking about, honestly.
I think for the 93rd Academy Awards, you have one person host the Oscars. And I don't necessarily think it's because you need one, but I think if you're looking for a ratings boost, you want to know who it is? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, you do.
Make it The Rock.
You do The Rock and Kevin Hart.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
at this
Rock and
point, you need to do Kevin Hart. You owe him that much, and I think that shows maybe we kind of fucked up on this.
Now, and then I will say this. It won't hurt if a comic book movie gets nominated.
But here's the thing. If it wasn't Endgame, it's not going to happen for a very long time.
Well, Black Panther did just last year. So the question is,
you know what will be the next
Joker
one?
was this year.
It's going to be Batman.
The question is, what's the next one?
Batman
what's
will be
the next
one.
one?
I think Batman will be the one.
So, and that won't be this
Robert
year.
Pattinson, that's the one you're like, they're going to put on a clip.
Yeah.
That's going to be the Joker version of that year.
So do you have an idea right now, what type of movie? I'm not going to even put you on the spot of saying what movie it is, but do you think, so this past year, the movie that won was a social commentary. Yeah. The year before that, it was a...
social commentary.
And the year before that, it was...
social commentary. It's always social commentary. I feel like all these movies are social commentary, though. That's why they're Oscar nominated. Now, I'll give you my extremely way too early prediction of what's going to be nominated for an Oscar is Into the Heights. That's my Into the Heights and wrote Into the Heights and Ben Affleck's new basketball movie.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
Oh, that movie. Oh, I was in the theater for Harley Quinn. Cried at that trailer. As a coach, I was just like, I can't help it. That speech he gives and John Campion's with me on this. He thinks it's going to be one of those.
Okay, so Parasite,
Yep.
Green Book, Shape of Water, Moonlight, Spotlight, Birdman, 12 Years a Slave, Argo, The Artist, King's Speech.
Beside The Artist, those are all social commentary.
I mean, Shape of Water is more of a creature feature.
But it's also about acceptance and love.
Spotlight is a drama.
But it's also about the
social
whole covering.
Yeah. When I say
which I think...
hold on. When I say social commentary, I mean more along the lines of a mirror towards it. So Parasite was like a mirror towards society. When I see Spotlight, that's real life drama. That's society.
Then I think we have two different definitions. Okay, but out of this, what is your favorite movie of those Oscar winners?
Of the last 10 years?
Mine's Spotlight. Spotlight, then 12 Years a Slave.
12 Years a Slave or Parasite?
Yeah, I go Spotlight, though. Spotlight's my number one.
Spotlight's
that
top
movie's
3.
fantastic.
Yeah. Birdman's great.
Birdman's great. I just love. But again, speaking of Michael Keaton, he's in Spotlight.
I will say this: the one that was probably the most exciting, Argo.
Argo's the most fun.
Yeah.
Argo's the most watchable of those movies.
Out of all, I totally agree.
Argo's the one you're like, I'll watch that 10 times.
My most least is Green Book.
Yeah, Green Book would be. I don't love King's Speech. I love parts of it.
But I like Colin Firth.
Yeah, I love parts of it. I think his performance is fantastic.
Yeah.
The movie's fine.
So, any final thoughts of the Oscars before I take my?
It's a bad show. It's fun. The winners were good. Oscar season's fun, but the show was it was bad. It deserved the low ratings.
So, I just want to say a huge congratulations to good brother Alex for having a wonderful award season.
Did I win in picks at least? Like, did I get more right, or was it just the 3-pointer?
It was
right?
a 3-pointer.
I had one more right than you did, but we had decided that Best Picture should be worth 3. I stand by that decision.
I won by 2 points,
which was 3 points, because you were down by 1.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So yes, I technically got more right, but I agreed with Mike, and we made the rule an hour before. We're like, that's not fun if Best Picture's not worth more, because then we would have tied.
Yeah,
and that's not as fun.
No.
And I felt like for something as big as a decision of that, if we ever disagree, we're always going to have 1 3-pointer every year.
You want to know which one would have put you over had everything been 1 point? Song.
Yeah.
Elton John would have won you it. But because of the strength and the number importance of Best Picture, I am now 2-1. I just want to say thank you to Parasite, Bong Joon-ho, and the entire cast and the entire production staff that was Parasite. Bong Joon-ho is now a made man. Check out Snowpiercer. Check out Parasite. Check out Ford v Ferrari. Check out The Irishman. Check out Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Woman, Marriage Story, 1917, Once a Time Upon in Hollywood. Look at guys, the good brother and I, we love talking most of mainstream pop culture. But cinema is so dope. When you watch an awesome movie like Parasite, and then you're able to then go see Avengers Endgame, that is what's beautiful. It's like being able to watch the XFL a week after watching the NFL. There's room for both. And if you don't watch these movies, don't complain saying there's no original movies. Everything's a sequel. Everything's a remake. Parasite, original. Ford v Ferrari, original. The Irishman, original. Jojo Rabbit, original.
Oh, by the way, Parasite's getting an American version.
Son of a bitch.
No, but that's the joke is joke. Yeah. But it's actually going to be starring Mark Ruffalo and talks and Bong Joon-ho. It's his idea. He's producing, cool. And he says he has more story to tell. So, joke aside, it's actually really exciting news.
Also, shout out to Korea for always making dope movies.
Yeah, is this your favorite Korean film? I still like Train to Busan better.
It's number
but
one.
That's because it's
Train to Busan is it's a great
classic.
That's
classic.
Yeah. Awesome Oscar season, good brother.
Yep.
Good brother, before we head out of here, it was a busy show, but we do have to re-talk about a little bit of NXT TakeOver Portland.
Why is that, Mike?
Because I am an idiot, and even though I am your Oscar prediction champion, that doesn't mean your boy doesn't make mistakes.
And points, not picks.
So,
asterisk.
Whatever. It's not an asterisk. It's still a ring and a banner. Good brother, do you have any other thoughts? Is there anything you want to change about them before I do that? All right, so here are our picks then from last week.
Yeah.
Good brother, we are getting so close to talking about bringing the gold home on Sunday, but some more gold is on the line that very Sunday that ends up being a jam-packed day because NXT takes over Portland this Sunday as part of the new order of pay-per-views. They're no longer the Saturday nights before.
That sucks for us. We're going to have to watch multiple screens.
So
we screwed us.
It kind of came really fast. Mm-hmm. Obviously, with WrestleMania, there's a lot of different talk about a lot of different shows.
Rumble,
so we'll just go into the cards, make our predictions, and see who wins with their own gold on this Sunday on this show. And we start off with Keith Lee versus Dominic Dijakovic for the NXT North American Championship.
Keith Lee.
Yeah.
He's banger. It's going to be a banger, but Keith Lee.
Dakota Kai versus Tegan Nox in a street fight.
Tegan Nox.
Dakota Kai. Adam Cole.
Baby.
Versus Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Championship.
We're going to push this till WrestleMania. Something's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree. This is a WrestleMania.
They're definitely a WrestleMania thing where you're going to put the belt on Ciampa. Like, you're not going to do it now.
Walks away.
Cole, but obviously messed up finish.
The Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly versus the Broserweights, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne for the NXT Tag Team Champion.
This is where I think it's weird because I think the Broserweights are going to win because I think we're seeing the fall of Undisputed. Because I think at WrestleMania weekend we get the last title drop, and then we're going to see the break of Undisputed starting WrestleMania till about SummerSlam.
I agree. The Broserweights win the title.
Okay, yeah. Like, we're starting to break them up now. Like, they had their year
Matt
run.
Riddle is going to turn heel on Pete Dunne.
Eventually.
Yeah. And I think
WrestleMania.
Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne will fight at WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah. It's all leading. It's all storyline.
Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano. Balor. They're pushing him right now.
Yeah, Balor.
Johnny Gargano going to a takeover.
Johnny a little bit
it's going to be a great match. That's why you do it.
Balor's winning. Like, if you don't let you have to really put that rocket on Balor right now. Like, why wouldn't you? You know, it's Finn Balor. Like, he's the first ever WWE Universal Champion. He's the demon. Like, unless he's fighting Bray the Fiend, like, you pretty much got to get him all the wins, right?
I would think so.
You would think so.
That's why I think Keith Lee's winning too. So
yeah, no, you have to. He's your future.
Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair for the NXT Women's Championship.
I think it's a messed up finish because we're gonna get a triple threat with Charlotte Flair. At WrestleMania.
So that's my question: is it Ripley, Belair, and Charlotte at WrestleMania?
I think so, and I think Bianca's gonna beat them both.
No Candice LeRae in this card. No Shayna Baszler. No Io Shirai. Like
stacked women's division. NXT's got the most stacked women's division there is.
Which match are you most excited about for NXT Takeover?
Keith Lee. Keith Lee's my boy. He's my favorite. I haven't been more excited about a wrestler probably since Roman Reigns was in the Shield.
Safest bet for best match of the night, though? Finn Balor, Johnny Gargano?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Really excited, though, for NXT Portland.
It's going to be a nice card, a couple little surprises, hopefully. Velveteen Dream just came back. That's fun.
Yeah, I agree. With that in mind, we did have the premiere of the XFL staying in the WWE Universe. What did you think? You're a diehard football fan. You're also a player when it came to growing up. What did you think about the XFL's premiere Saturday, Sunday this past weekend?
It was fine. It's fine. Like, it's on the right network, so I'll give them that. Did it do the numbers it was supposed to?
I heard 3 million each day,
so that's not bad.
pretty good.
That's good numbers. I'm never going to complain about football because I'm one of the guys. I watch a lot of college football, and it basically was like, obviously, yes, the talent level is very different.
A dip.
It's a very big dip.
Where do you think the dip is at? I'll tell you where I think the dip is the most. Tell me if you agree. The two positions. Offensive line, wide receiver.
Yeah, it's just, you're definitely missing, like, a lot of
the little...
These linemen are very underrated in the NFL.
A lot of pressure in the backfield earlier.
There's a reason that these NFL linemen have 10-year careers because, like, they're a breed. Like, it's a certain breed to really, and they're their leaders because, like, it's a hard position to play. But, yeah, I agree with you. Like, exactly there. The quarterbacks were fine. Running backs were fun. Defense was fun. I like the kickoff. It's fine. I don't know if it's going to have legs because it's not the NFL. I don't love any players coming out of it this week.
Yeah.
You know, that's an issue. Like, I'm not looking to be like, that player was sick. Like, they're not doing a good job really showing me that part. Yeah, it's fine.
Best example of what this could be is how it was for the DC Defenders. Nice soccer stadium, about 20,000 people, filled, fun game. As long as you got to admit, their kickoff scheme, really good, really innovative. It's going to get picked up by the NFL.
Even the pros said that, yeah. There are things that, like, as the game goes, it wasn't, like, obnoxious or, like, bad. Like, yeah, they threw a couple F-bombs. Guy threw up. That was funny.
That's all right, yeah.
They didn't do anything raunchy or, like, despicable.
It feels like a pro.
It's just a pro league.
It's a pro league.
And, again, there are stuff they're doing that the NFL is probably going to be like, yeah, we're going to have to. We're going to take that.
We're going to go ahead and take that. But it's in conjunction with the XFL. The XFL is all for it. Where I think it'll be interesting, and I think where the XFL might be able to survive, is if they get guys like Trevor Lawrence to say, hey, instead of having to play 3 years at Clemson, play 1 year at Clemson and then come over here to the XFL.
Yep.
That's where it will be interesting. But they say Oliver Luck was on Dan Patrick this afternoon, and he said they're trying to just make sure that they stay in spring. We're going to be a spring football. We're going to get you through the Super Bowl. We're going to get you to baseball. If they do that, they keep things nice and simple, have nice little soccer stadiums, and they bring back the Chicago Rush. I think that would be an amazing way. But
I like the arena football.
Well, this is what I said for anybody. Us, obviously diehard sports fans here. We had an arena football league team called the Chicago Rush. That's based off of the world famous train system, the CTA we have here: blue line, red line, brown line,
That's
the Metro.
True? I never put it together.
It's world famous. Yeah, the Chicago Rush.
No, I just never put it together.
So their logo would be an R, and it looks like the metallic doors of the blue line. So the Arena Football League isn't around here in Chicago anymore, and our old XFL team used to be called the Chicago Enforcers. I think it'd be cooler and a much better brand idea to just buy the name Chicago Rush and expand it, bring a team to San Antonio, bring a team to Chicago, put a team in Miami, and put a team somewhere like in Nashville or something and kick ass. But I had fun, good brother. You can never have enough decent football on your television.
Exactly.
But I think that's it, good brother. Any final thoughts? It was a jam-packed show. I got to do a victory lap, but all that means is it is time to hit the weight room again because we have to get ready for next Academy Award season. Mulan coming out, and then obviously that Ben Affleck movie, so there's some stuff we got to keep our eye on. We're going to have our reviews of NXT Takeover Portland, Sonic the Hedgehog, how it does in the box office, and another week in the XFL. Anything else we got to keep our eye on?
Shout out to Rock's daughter, Simone Johnson, on
Yes!
signing with WWE officially. The first fourth generation wrestler.
Hell yeah. And she's young enough.
She's built.
She looks like her
She's
daddy.
got the build.
She's
got a Charlotte build.
And lucky for her, and this is no shot at the two wonderful, she doesn't look like Nia Jax or Tamina.
She looks more. She looks
athletic.
very mid.
Yeah, but she's
very
athletic. She's got an athletic build.
And
so
she's kind of like The Rock, where you're like, I see the Samoan, I also see the
her
African
black,
American.
yeah.
So
and it's great. Well, she's got strong features. I'll tell her that much. A lot of people hate on her. I'm like, don't. She's got some very strong
she's cute.
features.
I think she's cute.
Yeah. So I gotta get. Hey man,
she's like, honestly, she's literally the Rock version of Charlotte.
Yeah.
Where you're like, I see how you look like your dad. People are gonna talk smack because you're who you are, but you got a good build. You're probably a natural, and you have all the right coaches right now.
You want it.
You're gonna be a champion. Like there's just like no way we're not gonna hear that she's thriving down there. Look at Dominic, Ray's son. He's bigger. He looks just enough like him. But again, they're like, no, he's pretty good. Like that's hilarious to me. Like these third generation kids coming in.
That's so crazy. That's how old we're getting.
Yeah.
Good Brother. But that'll do it for us on this episode of The Good Brothers. He's on Twitter at Mercado21
Don't
Alex.
follow me.
And on Instagram at
Don't
Mercado2121.
follow me.
Are you gonna wear a Big E shirt like he did yesterday to show the man boobies up?
Yeah,
It's the man window. I'm on Twitter at Mike M Media and on Instagram at Mike Mercado Media. Follow the show on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod. The network's on Twitter at Mercado Airwaves and on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Give us a thumbs up, 5 stars, review us, share us, say whatever, wherever you get your favorite podcast at Mercado Airwaves, and support all of Alex's nasty ass habits at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. For the good brother himself, Alex Mercado.
Adios.
I'm Mike Mercado. We'll see you in the next episode of The Good Brothers here on the Mercado
Airwaves
Network.
Thanks for joining us here on The Good Brothers, here on Mercado Airwaves.
Hey guys, Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. We want to thank you so much for all the support you've given us here on the network. And if you want to see what we're up to outside of the station, please follow us all over social media. I'm on Twitter at Mike M Media and on Instagram at Mike Mercado Media. You can follow the good brother Alex Mercado on Twitter at Mercado21Alex and on Instagram at Mercado2121. The lovely Nicole Mancha is on all social media platforms at Typing When Tipsy. You can follow the network on Twitter at Mercado Airwaves, our pop culture show, The Good Brothers, on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod, our true crime shows on Instagram at Murder, Mysteries, and more. And of course, like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. You can see all our videos on YouTube.com/Mike Mercado 2333 or by searching Mercado Airwaves Network. We play video games on Twitch, twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network. And of course, you can support our network by finding a tier just for you, whether you want early access, you want to be part of polls, you want to win contest prizes, by visiting us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. And we really appreciate it wherever you get your favorite podcast. So like, rate, review, and share us. And please spread the word. For the good brother, Alex Mercado, for the lovely Nicole Mancha, I'm Mike Mercado. We wish you a happy, healthy holiday season and an awesome new year. Hey guys, Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. We want to thank you so much for all the support you've given us here on the network. And if you want to see what we're up to outside of the station, please follow us all over social media. I'm on Twitter at Mike M Media and on Instagram at Mike Mercado Media. You can follow the good brother Alex Mercado on Twitter at Mercado21Alex and on Instagram at Mercado2121. The lovely Nicole Mancha is on all social media platforms at Typing When Tipsy. You can follow the network on Twitter at Mercado Airwaves. Our pop culture show, The Good Brothers, on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod. Our true crime shows on Instagram at Murder, Mysteries, and More. And of course, like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. You can see all our videos on YouTube.com/Mike Mercado 2333 or by searching Mercado Airwaves Network. We play video games on Twitch, twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network. And of course, you can support our network by finding a tier just for you, whether you want early access, you want to be part of polls, you want to win contest prizes, by visiting us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. And we really appreciate it wherever you get your favorite podcast to like, rate, review, and share us. And please spread the word. For the good brother, Alex Mercado, for the lovely Nicole Mancha, I'm Mike Mercado. We wish you a happy, healthy holiday season and an awesome new year.